Hi, this is Stephen. I have two messages before today's news. Firstly, if you haven't listened to the bonus episode we released last Saturday, which was an episode of the podcast English Learning for Curious Minds, then please listen to that because it's great. Second, today is the last day you can take part in our survey at send7.org. It only takes 5 minutes, and one person who completes the survey will win €50 of Amazon vouchers, and 3 people will receive Send7 coffee mugs. You can find that at send7.org. Thank you. Good morning, this is Send7 World News in 7 minutes. I'm Stephen Devincenzi. Today is Friday, the 11th of October, 2024. Starting in the Americas today, in the United States, 3 million people were left without power yesterday because of Hurricane Milton. Across the state of Florida, there was widespread destruction from the west coast to the east coast. Milton was the strongest cyclone recorded in the world in 2024 and the second strongest hurricane ever recorded in the Gulf of Mexico. 10 people are known to have died, which is less than died in Hurricane Helene 2 weeks ago, which travelled over a bigger part of the US and which people were less prepared for. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said yesterday that the damage from the storm was not the worst case scenario.
First responders have been working all through the night to help people who were in distress. And what we can say is the storm was significant, but thankfully this was not the worst case scenario.
In Brazil, a social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, is now available again. Supreme Court Judge Alexandra de Moraes said that X was permitted again because it had paid about $5 million in fines, blocked accounts accused of spreading misinformation, and agreed to appoint a local representative to comply with Brazilian law. Asia. Lebanon's health ministry has said that 22 people were killed in Israeli airstrikes on central Beirut yesterday when 2 apartment buildings were hit. Israeli media has said that senior Hezbollah commander Wafik Safar was the target of these airstrikes. However, Reuters news agency has reported that they have been informed that Safar had survived. The United Nations peacekeeping mission in Lebanon said that 2 of its peacekeepers were injured yesterday when an Israeli tank fired at their positions. In Gaza, an airstrike on a school has killed 28 people, according to the Gaza Health Ministry. Israel said that it had hit a Hamas command post and had taken steps to lower civilian casualties. In the Red Sea, Yemen's Houthi rebel group have fired missiles and drones at a Greek cargo ship travelling from Saudi Arabia to Oman. The ship said that it suffered only minor damage and would continue its journey. Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te said yesterday that China cannot represent Taiwan. In a speech for Taiwan's National Day yesterday, Lai said, quote, "On this land, democracy and freedom are growing and thriving. The People's Republic of China has no right to represent Taiwan." End quote. China claims Taiwan as its territory, despite Taiwan being completely separate from China since 1950. Africa. In Mozambique, votes are still being counted from Wednesday's presidential and parliamentary elections. The ruling party, Frelimo, is expected to win, but with a smaller number of seats in parliament than before. Civil society monitors have said that they are keeping their own tally of votes in order to detect fraud. Some election observer missions have said that they have been denied access to the counting process. Zambia has confirmed its first case of mpox, the disease formerly known as monkeypox, although it hasn't confirmed if it is from the deadly new strain. The country with by far the most cases of mpox is the Democratic Republic of Congo, where over 600 deaths have been reported this year. The DRC started vaccinations against mpox this week, using vaccines donated by the United States and the European Union. Europe. In Ukraine, the Ukrainian army and the Russian army are fighting street by street in the town of Toretsk, according to Ukrainian soldiers speaking to journalists. About 1,000 civilians are still in Toretsk from a pre-war population of about 60,000. A Ukrainian army spokesperson said that Russia was completely destroying whole buildings in order to conquer Toretsk, which is in the Donetsk region and has been on the front line since 2014. President Volodymyr Zelensky was in the UK and France yesterday talking to Prime Minister Keir Starmer and President Emmanuel Macron. Today he will travel to Italy and Germany. Ukrainian officials have said that the Ukrainian journalist Victoria Roshchina has died in Russian detention. Roshchina disappeared last August after travelling into a part of Ukraine controlled by Russian forces, and her father received a letter from the Russian Defense Ministry in April saying that she was being detained in Russia. And in Spain, scientists have said that they will reveal details about the origins of explorer Christopher Columbus tomorrow. The most common story is that Christopher Columbus is from Genoa in today's Italy. However, other historians say that he could have been Portuguese, Greek, Basque, or a Spanish Jew. Researchers say that they have tested DNA from samples of Columbus's remains, and that information about him will be given in a documentary on Spanish television tomorrow. A big thank you to Eric in Chile and Helen in Germany for becoming our newest supporters. If you would like to help to support this podcast and have access to the transcripts of every episode and our weekly worksheets and world news quiz, you can become a supporter at send7.org. Have a great weekend and we will see you on Monday.